Hello everybody, in this chapter I'm gonna quickly show you the modeling of this backpack for a little soldier. The backpack was not present in the original concept, but we thought it might have been a nice add-on to the personality of the character. So we did a quick search and we found this picture that we like. It's a picture in perspective, but this doesn't really stop us to use it as a background image. It's mapped on the plane and we're gonna use it as a visual reference for modeling. So let's start with the simple rectangle and convert it to editable poly. The rectangle basically has the same size of the brown backpack. As I say, the picture is in perspective, but we're gonna just try to keep the same overall proportion. It doesn't really matter if it doesn't really have the same exact size. So we're gonna work with symmetry, so I deleted the interior polygons, and right now I'm trying with poly modeling to approximate the shape of this brown backpack. Just working on the edges right now to make the proper tension on the border of the backpack. Now at this point I destroyed the symmetry and I deleted the polygons on top. And I'm gonna give it some thickness with the shell modifier. And I'm quickly going to create the front part, just extruding some polygons. I figure this object is just like a bag, basically. This is gonna be the front part of it. I'm gonna increase a little bit the density of my geometry, just to have more control in case I have to make some deformations. I probably have to for sure to do some deformations, so it's better to have the proper density in the topology. I'm gonna now create the geometry of the blanket that goes around the backpack. This is the base of the blanket, and I'm just drawing it with a spline. And this is the profile of the blanket with another spline. What I'm gonna do now is gonna basically extrude the spline first and then apply a shell modifier. So I have this piece of geometry. Needs a little of tweaking, but here we are. As you can see, I have a few control on the steps, and this is my rough geometry of the blanket for now. Using subflow right now to make the topology a little bit more smooth and symmetry, and then we collapse. Just trying to get better alignment for my geometry. Okay. This could be considered more or less the general proportion of my backpack. I'm quickly blocking the canteen right now, the canteen that you see in the picture in the front of the backpack. I always start usually with a simple rectangle and I convert it to editable poly. Everything usually starts from there in my workflow. Trying to approximate the same size of that black canteen. Need some more hard edges, but more or less the shape is correct. I'm gonna quickly extract now the cap, the canteen itself, and we are gonna give it some thickness as well. The shell modifier, of course. So here both part of the canteen, the cap and the body itself. Try to maintain some kind of even ratio of the polygons, even for the canteen. I mean, this object is not supposed to be deformable, but you never know. So let's quickly model the handle of the canteen with a spline. Next we can have like a renderable spline, and we can also like make a geometric spline, convert splines into geometry as well. So we are going to use this approach for the handle of the canteen. Just trying to refine a little bit the shape of this handle according to the reference picture. It's really easy when it's still a spline. As you can see, I can just move the vertices of the spline, and the geometric version just follows. Table poly, but and I omitted the modeling of this little metallic support, but it's pretty simple. And right now I'm gonna quickly show you the beginning of the modeling of that metallic piece in the middle of the canteen. I think it's the handle of the cap. Starting with always with a plane. Symmetry applied to it. I'm just gonna show you the basic initial stage of this. Everything I model is based on what I see in the reference picture, but sometimes I just improvise and try to figure out some mechanical details by myself, especially when in cases like this when you don't really need to be extremely accurate, but this object is made of two pieces basically rotating on each other. And the upper part is connected to the cap of the canteen. This more or less is the blocking of this piece, final blocking. And after a few minutes of modeling, this is the final geometry. So they continue. I realized I split the geometry in the wrong place, so let's do it again. Okay, this is correct. As you can see, I'm working with the soft selection activated. Let's skip a few passages and the creation of another strap. Just skip the basically I'm splitting the straps where I'm gonna put the clips of the straps themselves later. Well, I think you got the idea. So let's now import a clip that we previously modeled for the soldier, and basically we are gonna place these clips on top of the straps that we already have. I just adapted the clip a little bit. So basically what we are gonna do now is making the strap passing through the clips. It can be a little tedious, but fortunately super accurate, but at last visually it has to work. Now I skip a few passages, but the idea is the same for the straps on the jacket of the soldier, and also the holes has been made in the similar way. Of course, this process has to be repeated for all the other straps. Edges. It's probably not so necessary, but I just prefer to have cleaner topologies than this. That's pretty much it. So let's keep the same operation for the other straps, and here's the final geometry. We're gonna export now in OBJ these single elements, because we are gonna do some sculpting on the bag and on the blankets. So we are gonna export all these elements basically to use them into ZBrush. And finally the blanket.